What's up with y'all boys and girls, man? Hey, it's Jay Briggs here continuing. Cook up this NBA action, man. Y'all know we do here on the Jam Session. We cook up every single game, every single day, man. Money making Tuesday, ladies and gentlemen. We got a really good card today, man. I'm finna break it down, let you guys know my thoughts, my opinions, and get you, ladies and gentlemen, in and out of here with some information that hopefully puts you on the winning side tonight. Money making Tuesday. Playoffs are right on the horizon, man. Closing out the season in the NBA, looking to close it out on the right foot. On a high note, I appreciate each and every one of you that continue to tune in and watch this video. All I ask is that you smash that like button for me. You subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. And as I always say, man, if you're rocking with me, rock with me. I'm active on Instagram and Twitter all day long. There's a link for both in the description below. And of course, I have premium plays over at the site. Let's do it, man. Let's talk about today. First game on the board. We got the Charlotte Hornets at home, at the crib, with the Memphis Grizzlies rolling in. Total 228.5. Look, we've seen these two teams match up once this season. Memphis did beat up on Charlotte in that game, 132-120. That game was on the 22nd of January. Memphis has won back-to-back games. They went into Miami, won that game, 110-108. They failed to cover. And then they beat the Detroit Pistons in that last game. They did cover in that one. Charlotte, they're extremely banged up. They're free falling. They're done for the season. They're tanking. It's evident. Here's the thing. Memphis has been terrible from an ATS perspective overall post All-Star break. This team has been among one of the worst. I think they may be the worst team post All-Star break from an ATS perspective. They need to heat up with the playoffs right here on the horizon, so it wouldn't shock me if they kicked the crap out of Charlotte in this one. I don't trust them enough to lay the points in this one. Forced to play the game, though, I would lean towards the Memphis Grizzlies laying the points in this one. They need to get into form for the playoffs if they're going to do anything. I don't like the late season firing of the head coach. That's not a good sign. I don't like their numbers overall recently from an ATS perspective. That's not a good sign. But off of back-to-back wins, they could be finally establishing some momentum right at the time they need to be. Small lean on Memphis. I don't know if I personally get to the window in this one, though. We keep rolling. We got your Chicago Bulls out on the road facing the Cleveland Cavaliers. Cavs, 12.5, 11.5 point home favorites. This line's been bouncing a little bit this morning. Cavs still extended favorites no matter how you look at it. Cleveland, they've beat up on Chicago in all three meetings this season. The first one was 119-113 on the 11th of November. The next meeting was 144-126 on the 15th of November. The last meeting was on the 4th of March. Cleveland beat up on them in that one, 139-117. Now, let's talk about who these two teams are right now. Currently, the Bulls are coming in on a 3-game winning streak. They beat Toronto, beat Portland, beat Charlotte. Cleveland, they're coming into this one winners of 3 of their last 5, winners of 3 of their last 4. However, they just lost their last game to the Sacramento Kings at home, 120-113. Chicago has been a much different team post All-Star break than they were pre-All-Star break. Cleveland, they've been a way different team post All-Star break than they were pre-All-Star break. It's kind of hard to look at full season numbers with these two teams. Full season numbers with these two teams are way deceiving. If you look at full season numbers, you would say there's no reason for me not to take Cleveland here. Cleveland's the 3rd best overall ATS team in the NBA this season, but that's not who Cleveland has been of recent. Cleveland of recent, they got the number 1 seed pretty much locked up, and they've kind of gone through the motions. They've prioritized health. They haven't gone balls to the wall and put belt to ass on teams like they were pre-All-Star break. You see what I'm saying? Late in games, they pull guys, and they just don't have that same oomph that they had earlier in the season. They're solidified. They're one of the best teams in the NBA. Early season, they were still out to prove they're one of the best teams in the NBA. So I worry about laying extended numbers with Cleveland in spots like this. They haven't really been as dominant of recent. Even in those 3 wins that they had, they only had 1 dominant win, and that was over the Knicks, 124-105. They barely beat the Clippers by 5, beat the San Antonio Spurs by 1. Cleveland has played with their food here of recent. I've said here of recent, though, triple revenge doesn't really move me as much. If a team beats you 3 times in a season it's very likely that they just own you and they will beat you for a fourth. And that's kind of why I am leaning Cleveland here in this one, even though I know Chicago has played much better basketball of recent. I know Cleveland hasn't been as dominant of recent, but this is a Jay gut feeling style play. Cleveland just doesn't play when they play the Bulls. They've beaten the crap out of the Bulls in back-to-back games this season. I think they do it again here in this one. Small lean for me on the Cavs. It does make my stomach hurt a little bit with the current form they're in from an ATS perspective, but they are head and shoulders the better basketball team in this game tonight. Let's not get that confused. If they play a B-plus style game, I think they still win this game by double digits. I'm going to lay the points here with the Cleveland Cavs. We keep it rolling. We got the Washington Wizards out on the road facing the Indiana Pacers. Pacers laying 18.5 points here in this one. Total 236.5. Man, wow. You feel me? 18.5 is a lot of lumber to lay. Indiana's dominated the Wizards this season. They've won all three meetings. First one was 115-103. The second one was competitive, 134-130 on the 12th of February in Washington. That game went to overtime. The last meeting, Washington absolutely got obliterated by the Pacers, 162-109 on the 27th of March. When you look at how Washington has played of recent, they've been not great. Boston blew them out 124-90. Orlando beat them up 109-97. Miami aired them out 120-94. They do have one win in this span, a 116-111 win over Sacramento. I don't think that's going to happen here. Indiana, I believe, is starting to enter that form of the team who I thought they were all season. Keep an eye out on Indiana. I'm going to keep hammering that point home. I think Indiana has a very legitimate chance to be in the Eastern Conference Finals again, just like they were a season ago. I also think they dominate Washington in this one. A lot of lumber to lay. But last time we seen them play, man, it was 162-109. In Washington, they're done. They're cooked. Cooper Flag sweepstakes, season winding down. No real motivation for Washington here. I think Indiana blitzes them. I'm going to look to lay that huge number. Keep it rolling, man. We got the Hawks out on the road facing the Orlando Magic. Magic laying 4.5 here in this one. Total 225.5. Interesting game here, ladies and gentlemen. First, we've seen these two teams match up twice this season. The Hawks won the first meeting 112-106 in Orlando on the 10th of February. The Magic turned around and won 10 days later on the 20th of February, 114-108 in Atlanta. These two teams will play again in 5 days. These two teams battling it out right now for positioning in the Eastern Conference. With the season winding on down, very meaningful game between these two. The Hawks, they come in, they won their last game over the Jazz in dominant fashion, won the game by 13 points. Before that, they had lost 3 straight to Portland, Dallas, and New York. Orlando comes into this one, winners of 3 of their last 4, beat up on Sacramento 121-91, lost to the Clippers at home in disappointing fashion, 96-87, then turn around, beat up on San Antonio and Washington. What we've known about Orlando this season is against good teams, you can't trust them, even at home. They were a money-making machine last season at home. This season, they haven't been that same dominant team. You can't blindly trust Orlando at home. Orlando usually beats up on bad teams and doesn't play great against the good teams. They've won against good teams. They've won against bad teams. They've lost to the good teams. The Hawks, what do we know about them? The Hawks, they're the opposite. The Hawks play really well against the good teams and play terrible against the bad teams. It's kind of crazy how night and day these two teams are. In a game like this, I want the points in my back pocket. Short, sweet, simple. I think the Hawks have a legitimate chance to win this game outright. I don't trust the Orlando Magic from an ATS perspective in a meaningful, not bad team style game. We've already seen the Hawks go into Atlanta recently. We've already seen the Hawks go into Orlando recently and pull out a win this season. So I think they have a legitimate chance to do that again. Getting over a bucket in my back pocket with the Hawks is where I want to be in this one. Keep an eye on the injury report. Trae Young is probable in this one. I'm expecting him to play. Clint Capella's still out, which is a blow. But I think the Hawks will be just fine in this one to keep this one competitive. I think Trae Young and the boys have enough offense to overcome the just strictly defensive nature of the Magic in this one. Give me the Hawks. Keep it rolling. We got the New Orleans Pelicans out on the road facing the Brooklyn Nets. Nets laying 2.5 here in this one. Total 213.5. I don't like this game whatsoever, ladies and gentlemen. I'm not going to sugarcoat it. Two bad teams. Brooklyn, they are the much better ATS team. Brooklyn, they did win the lone meeting between these two teams this season. That game was way back in November, though, so not really much to take from that. It was on the 11th of November. In New Orleans, Brooklyn won 107-105. New Orleans comes into this game losers of 4 of their last 5, including 3 straight, aired out by the Clippers, aired out by the Lakers. They did compete with Milwaukee in that last one and lose at home. I believe Giannis ended up sitting in that game, though. It was a late scratch from him, so that's what's up with the Pelicans. They're one of the worst ATS teams in all of the NBA. They're terrible. We've been fading them blindly for the majority of the season. On the other side, we got the Brooklyn Nets. Man, this team comes into this one off of back-to-back home losses. Losses to Minnesota, losses to Toronto. Before that, they had back-to-back road wins over Washington and Dallas. Not surprising at all, man. That's the thing about Brooklyn. At home this season, they've been terrible. On the road this season, they've been printing money. It's kind of weird. I don't trust them laying points at home. I haven't really trusted them all season. If there was a spot, though, where they were supposed to get a home win, it's over the terrible New Orleans Pelicans. So this is what I'm going to do in this one. I'm going to lean towards the Brooklyn Nets. They've been the much better ATS team, the more trustworthy dollar team. New Orleans, we faded them blindly pretty much all season long, and I'm just sticking to that. Expecting New Orleans to win a game this late in the season, I cannot do. Brooklyn, when they play bad teams, they do play better than you think they might. Brooklyn is one of those teams that's better than you would think, but just when they start to get high and you start to trust them, they let you down. Right now, off back-to-back disappointing home losses, a chance to get one more home win before the season's over, I would lean towards Brooklyn, maybe even just take them straight up on the money line here in this one. Keep it rolling. We got a really good one, man. We got the Boston Celtics, the defending champs. The best team in the NBA, in my mind, in my opinion. I've been saying that for 2 seasons. They're out on the road facing the New York Knicks. Knicks, as of right now, at the time of recording this video, are 1.5-point home favorites in this thing. First thing we got to talk about is the injury report, because I believe that's what has this line looking the way it looks. Boston has Porzingis game time decision, Drew Holiday game time decision, Jason Tatum game time decision, and Derek White game time decision. Al Horford right now is listed as out. On the other side, Miles McBride is game time decision, Jalen Brunson is game time decision. Keep an eye out on the injury report in this game. Brunson is probable. McBride is probable. Derek White, true, is probable. Tatum, a true questionable. Drew Holiday is probable, and Porzingis is a true questionable. Tatum gets listed in, this line is going to look a little different. Regardless of that, though, in no way should the Knicks be favored in my mind, in my opinion. This is what I be talking about with the Knicks when I say they're overrated and overvalued. Had they come into this game and been 3.5-point home dogs like they're supposed to be to the defending champs, we might have thought about taking them plus the points or attacking the outright money line. We might have thought about it. We might have had to legitimately think about it. But favored, bro. Favored over the Celtics. Stop it. Stop it. Stop it. Overrated. Overvalued. That's my story. I'm sticking to it. Celtics are the better team by a mile. Neither team is great from an ATS perspective, so I don't want to hear that. No matter how I slice this game, the value's on Boston. The value's on Boston. I'm on Boston. Boston has won all 3 meetings this season over the Knicks. 132-109, 131-104, 118-105. I'm just keeping it consistent. If a team beats you 3 times in a season, what does that mean, ladies and gentlemen? What does it mean? It means they just flat out are better than you. They just flat out own you. And I think that's the case here for the Celtics. I'm laying the points. let's not overcomplicate this, man. I'm going to say it again, and I want to drill it in all you New York fans' head. You are a good team, and it wouldn't shock me if you guys went on a run in the postseason. The Knicks are a good team. I've said that all season long. But they're overrated and over fucking valued. Short, sweet, simple. We keep it rolling. We got the Minnesota Timberwolves out on the road facing the Milwaukee Bucks. Bucks, 5.5-point home dogs, total 222.5. Y'all want to step in front of the T-Wolves right now? I don't. T-Wolves are in the middle of a Linsanity run. We've been riding this Linsanity run with the T-Wolves. We're going to continue to do that. I'm on Minnesota. I'm going to lay the points here in this one. We've seen these two teams match up once this season. Milwaukee did win that meeting 103-101 in Minnesota. That game was on the 12th of February. Doesn't surprise me. What do we call Minnesota at home? The house of disappointment. On the road, Minnesota's a much more trustworthy team. We like to bet Minnesota much more on the road than we do at home, keeping it consistent. Minnesota, I really love the basketball they're playing right now. They're starting to get into form. Remember, this was the team that was in the Western Conference Finals last season. Keep an eye on them T-Wolves. They finally have gelled. They're finally starting to play well. Milwaukee, hats off to them too. Them boys are playing solid basketball. I'm not mad at them at all. I just don't like spot for them. That's it. That's all. I'm on the T-Wolves. T-Wolves have earned their respect, and they're on the road where we trust them. Give me Minnesota. I'm going to lay the points here in this one. I think the line in this game tells you what you need to know. Even with Giannis listed as probable in this game, Minnesota is two-possession road favorite. Again, I think the line tells you what you need to know. It's telling you how I see this game. Let's keep it rolling. Next game up, we got my favorite team, the Los Angeles Lakers, out on the road facing our favorite money-making team, the Oklahoma City Thunder Buddies. These two teams just matched up the other day. The Lakers beat up on the Thunder in that game. 126-99 was the final score in that one. I was yapping in that game that day that I believe the Lakers would show that they're legitimate title contenders. In that game, Luka Doncic has been the kryptonite of the Oklahoma City Thunder Buddies over the last couple seasons. And I said, if Luka is the guy who I think he is, then the Lakers are going to go in there and win that game. And that's exactly how it panned out. Now, the Lakers, they pretty much control their own destiny. The Lakers need one win pretty much to lock up the 3 seed. They got the Thunder, the Mavs, the Rockets, and the Blazers for their last 4 games. The Thunder Buddies coming off back-to-back losses, man. Getting demolished the way they did in that one by the Lakers. In the bounce-back game at home, that also happens to be a quick revenge game, I'm going to lay the points with Oklahoma City here in this one. They're our favorite money-making team for a reason. They've covered in over 65% of their games thus far this season for a reason. Just to play on the spot, play on the situation. Y'all know we attack specific spots and specific situations here on the Jam Session. The Lakers have a huge game on deck tomorrow. The return of the Don, Luka Doncic, to Dallas. Anthony Davis, his first game against his old team, the Los Angeles Lakers. So I think the Lakers will compete in this game through the first half, maybe through 3 quarters. Thunder take a pretty big lead, and the Lakers just lay it down and say, we'll catch them another day. We already proved what we needed to prove the other night. And the Thunder Buddies are going to try to beat their chest and act like they did something with a huge, likely dominant win in this one tonight. So that's just how I see this game playing out, ladies and gentlemen. We trust the Thunder Buddies, especially laying huge numbers. Huge numbers with the Thunder Buddies doesn't faze us. It's a play on the spot. It's a play on the situation. Bounce back game at home that also happens to be a quick revenge game off an ugly loss. Lakers not really as motivated in this one as they were in the first one, on the front leg of a back-to-back with a huge motivation game tomorrow. Just doesn't seem like a great spot to take the Lakers. Even though we cashed with them the other day, I think today we take the other side with our favorite money-making team, the Oklahoma City Thunder Buddies. Keep it rolling. We got the Warriors out on the road facing the Phoenix Suns. Golden State, 9.5-point road favorites in this one. Total 226.5. Look, the Suns, man, they're not done yet, technically, but they're cooked. Like the Suns need so much to break their way to just make the play-in tournament, let alone the playoffs. The Warriors, they need a couple things to break their way to get home court advantage. Think about how hot the Warriors have been post All-Star break. I want to say they're, off the top of my head, I want to say they're 15-3. I want to say off the top of my head, post All-Star break, and even then, that wasn't enough to earn them home court advantage. They need a couple things to break their way to either get that. I think they're still in contention for the 3rd or 4th seed, but the Lakers pretty much control their destiny for the 3rd seed. And that 4th seed, pretty much due to tiebreakers right now, belong to the T-Wolves. It's a lot going on tiebreaker land. That's why I don't really want to talk too much on it. It's going to hurt your head more to think about it than anything. Back to this game, though. Warriors laying 9.5 points here in this one. Warriors off the loss to the Houston Rockets. Really disappointing loss, man. One of my biggest losses of the season. For me, I was pretty heavy on the Warriors in that one. The Warriors have dominated the Rockets over the last couple seasons, and I thought they were going to do exactly that in that game. The Rockets pushed up on the Warriors, though, and held Curry to 3. Curry off of having 3, I think him and his henchmen take that frustration and all that shit out on Phoenix. We've been fading Phoenix pretty much blindly for majority of the season. Phoenix right now currently is the 2nd worst ATS team in the NBA. They're under like 38% for the season covering, so fading them or covering at over a 60% clip. It's hard for me not to just blindly fade Phoenix, and getting the Warriors in the bounce back spot. Curry off of only having 3, probably go for 50 tonight. This is how these two teams have battled it out this season. The Suns won the first meeting 113-105 on the 30th of November. The Warriors bounced back, won the next meeting 109-105 on the 28th of December in Golden State. The next meeting, the Suns dominated them 130-105 on the 31st of January. That was the last time these two teams played. Injury report-wise, Kevin Durant still out for the Suns. The Suns, they've lost, 5 straight games. Dominated by Minnesota, dominated by Houston, dominated by Milwaukee, dominated by Boston, dominated by New York. I think the same thing happens tonight. 124-109 to Minnesota, 104-109 to Houston, 133-123 to Milwaukee, 123-103 to Boston, 112-98 to New York. All teams in the playoffs, so is Golden State. All double-digit losses. I think so will this one be. It's not overcomplicated. Curry off only having 3 should be tripping tonight. I'm going to lay it here with the Golden State Warriors. Last and final game of the night, ladies and gentlemen, we got the San Antonio Spurs out on the road facing the Los Angeles Clippers. 12.5-point home favorites, total 227.5. Clippers are the best home ATS team in the NBA, man. We've known that. We've been betting them at home for majority of the season. They built a multi-billion-dollar arena this season to be good at home. They have an unfair advantage that no other team has. They have a wall straight out of a movie. It's kind of crazy. So it's no coincidence that they're the best home ATS team in the NBA. I think they're still playing meaningful basketball right now. Playoff positioning for them is still on the table. San Antonio on the other side, while they were competitive in certain spots, we've also seen them be blitzed in a couple of them. Golden State aired them out. Orlando aired them out. They lost by double digits to Portland. I don't think it's crazy to say they lose by double digits on the road to the Clippers, where the Clippers have been dominant, where the Clippers have done what they're supposed to do all season long. In our last and final game of the night, I say trust the Clippers, lay the points. I think they kick the crap out of the San Antonio Spurs. No Fox, no Wemby, no Pop, no Spurs. Ladies and gentlemen, I appreciate each and every one of you that continue to tune in and watch this video. All I ask is that you smash that like button for me. You subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. And as I always say, man, if you're rocking with me, rock with me. I'm active on Instagram and Twitter all day long. There's a link for both in the description below. And of course, I have premium plays over at the site, man. Money Making Tuesday, ladies and gentlemen. A really good card today. And that's why I took my time breaking it down, took my time really going through it in depth. I'm betting pretty heavy today. So if you want to hop on with me over at Pickdawgz Premium. Let's do the damn thing. Let's close the season out on a great note, on the right foot. Yeah, man. Appreciate y'all. See y'all tomorrow. It's been your guy, Jay Briggs. I'm out of here. Peace.